I have to apologize to you guys on platform there. Um, I can see that they literally just welcome me to Lagos. And what happened is there's a disconnection between the government light and the generator. I think that's what happened, So there's a bit of a disconnection, between the two. They cannot switch them, over immediately. So I think that's what happened anyway. So apologies to those who are on platform. They're willing to listen to me, and unfortunately, Lagos just introduced me. They just introduced themselves to myself. They welcome me on board, and I appreciate them. Power, they call it power, electricity. It's a major problem in Nigeria. I have to be honest with you. It's a major, major, major problem that the government needs to look into in Nigeria. Issue of electricity, it's a big problem no matter wherever you are. It doesn't matter. I think it's an issue. I think it's a big issue in Nigeria. Electricity, it's a big problem, And then you look at the security wise, God is our security, but then you have to know your level. You have to mind yourself. You have to mind your business. A lot of people get into trouble, into situation because they cannot afford to manage their own business. They get themselves involved. They get involved in things that doesn't concern them, or perhaps, may I use my English correctly? They possibly want to show off, and a lot of people get into trouble as a result of show off. They do more than what they have. They are not calm. Some people are not born to control themselves. They just want to show off. And I don't believe in show off. I don't believe. Empty barrel make noise. The situation in Nigeria is not a place where you can show off to people, because anything being pa only do to barenti oyo to feel shako. Somebody that is hungry is not going to be happy when he sees you that you are possibly you are fed enough, well fed, but you are trying to be arrogant to those who are still hungry and who haven't got something to eat. Of course they can set you up. Of course they can kill you. Of course they can do anything to you, because somebody is not happy and you are taking make on them. Show off. I call it show off. A lot of people don't understand how to behave when they are in a situation that is not the same place where they are coming from, or in a place where it's totally different from where they're coming from. They don't understand how to manage their life, behave themselves. In my England, I can show off anything if you want me to show off, but I'm not a character that show off. But then in Nigeria, I just calm it and I blend and I just do my things. But people still know that, oh, she's from London, she's this, she's that. But I tend to deceive people, change everything so that they will not identify me quickly. But I go out, I do everything normal with other people. But I just take control of the whole situation. Show off is exactly what Kemo. Show off is a big problem in Nigeria for those who are coming. I saw a lot of people on aircraft before landing, and I'm on a business class, so I saw them on a where they're sitting, and I think it's show off. A lot of people travel to Nigeria and they overdress themselves, and then they foolish on ground think that they have the money. They don't know that they may have taken their credit cards, they may have taken some money from their friends, or do some things to just come and show off for that 1 or 2 weeks they want to spend in Nigeria. So it's a fake life. It's not real. It's a fake life. It's not real at all. Show off is not a good way of living. My mother said things, usually said things in her lifetime, said, cut your coat according to your height. A coat that is longer than height will not suit you. It will make you look dejected. It will make you look dejected. But some people want to behave as if they have it all. Even if you have it, you have to remember those who haven't got it. So you have to be quiet with yours when you are spending yours. Doesn't matter, you do things the way you like. I buy my things, but I don't show it off to people to say that come and see what I've just bought, or come and see what I just got for myself. But of course I do buy quality. I buy good things, But it is when I'm buying that people will look at it and say, who is she, by the way? Why is she buying all these things? But then you can't show it off to people that hasn't got, what to eat. So Nigeria is a total different avenue entirely. It's different. In England, we are, I think in England, I would say we are level. Everybody's leveler. You don't have to have a car in England. For those of us using a big car, we like it because Yoruba proverb say ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ afẹ́ ayé lórí mọ́tò ló ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ o. But it's not ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ afẹ́ ayé in my own case because everyone buy cars before start having houses anyway. But my car now possibly be my, how many car would I count it now that I have got in my life? So it's not that I'm buying car and not having investment. I bought car after when I know that I've got what I wanted. So I always advise people that when you want to invest in Nigeria, your first thing to invest on in Nigeria is not a car, it's a house. Invest on a house or a landed property, and then turn it to a house, to a building, and start making money on it. Especially Lagos is very, very good. But then they will welcome you to Lagos. Only ni wọ́n gbájú ẹ̀ ni wọ́n lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Èkó ilé, they want to dupe you. In Lagos, you have to let your brain be sharp and opened. An average of them in Lagos they are dubious in mind, and they don't want to know where you are getting the money from. Whether you are working in the snow, in the rain, or the cold weather. The weather is still cold before I left England, and you can see it's still showing in my nose, my voice. So, but people don't want to understand how hard it is to get that currency. That foreign currency, people are just calling anyhow. Foreign currency, for £1 alone, £1 alone will give you 472 naira, Nigerian naira. So it's not a baby money. Foreign currency, pound sterling, is the second heavyweight currency in the world, but the most popular currency in the world. Kuwait is the one that has more value than pounds, and Kuwait is not popular. When I say it to people, they don't believe. But if you are well educated, go on and search it. Then you will know that Kuwait is more more heavier than pound sterling. But pound sterling is more popular because it's foreign currency, it's hard currency, But that money is not there. It's not an easy money to get. People don't understand. So investment in Lagos needs, you have to be wise when it comes to investing in Lagos. When I said Lagos, I mean Nigeria as a whole generally. Nigeria as a whole generally. I was reading a blog from someone. I don't know where I read the blog from, whether Google or whatever. A young guy who traveled to Nigeria to go and settle down in Nigeria perhaps. And then, may his soul rest in peace first before I start talking. May his soul rest in peace. It's an Igbo guy, yeah? Or I think it's still part of Nigeria. That is not the point. The point I want to raise here is that he went to Nigeria, asked his friend to rent an apartment for him where he wants to put up and start so that he will be able to complete his own building. At the end of the day, what he did was that he died within 3 days of him arriving in Nigeria. How come? Because what I get from that point, from what I read, what I pull out from it, because when I'm reading, I will always want to pull out points. What I pull out from that reading is that he went to Nigeria to show off. He came to Nigeria to come and show off. May his soul rest in peace. Don't forget what I said. May his soul rest in peace. But I believe you cannot live the same lifestyle you live in England and Nigeria anyhow. You got to, first of all, understand the grassroots very well. They got him the apartment, went to Anambra or so. I wouldn't be able to mention city or town properly because I can't remember which is which. Just to his family to go and tell them that he's in Nigeria, he has rented an apartment, he just went to go and see them, and we want to continue building his house at the same time. On his way coming back with his friend or his brother, they now went out with other friends and sat down and start drinking. They start drinking. You understand? They start drinking beer, alcohol. In between while they were at the bar drinking, his phone rang. And then he picked up that phone to answer his phone. What then happened was that while the idiot was answering that phone, may his soul rest in peace. May God forgive me for using that language. I beg your pardon, because he has passed on to the glory. So I won't be able to use any dirty English against him anymore. But I know that if he had not gone to that place, the guy would still be alive. What happened is that when his phone rang, he has already drank. So when his phone rang, he stood up to go and answer that call. X where? You know where he stood answering that call? Would you believe that that's where the car ran him over and killed him? And got killed. He got killed. His 15 years abroad wasted. The money he brought home to start business, to start doing things, he couldn't achieve all those things. He could not achieve. Yeah, he died. Money Kigbinedo. You are very right. He did. Yeah, he did died in a village because they were at the bar. They were at the bar drinking. His phone rang and he went, he stood up, moved aside to answer his call. Where he was standing, that is where the car ran him over. I mean, if he had not drunk, wouldn't he have known that a car is coming towards him? Wouldn't he have seen that vehicle if he had not drunk? So I'm very worried about the situation of things when people come to Nigeria. They don't know how to behave. You see, the same way you would do at Tasty and hang around in the high street X-where is different. The drivers and Nigerians are very careless. They don't trafficate. They don't do things. Sometimes some of them drive without common sense. I've seen it. I saw it clearly today. And I'm seeing it all the time. This is not my first time coming. I come to Nigeria very often. And I can see their major mistakes every time when they drive. I can see it. It's so glaring. You can see it. Anyone can see it. And that guy got killed. His ambition has already just been perished. The ambition is gone. The family put them in darkness again, now put them in kind of a bad situation, and he too did not achieve anything. After 15 years of his lost labor, hard work, cold weather, snow, insult, everything overseas, he ended up, with nothing at the end of the day. And no one is perfect. But sometimes some journey need common sense. Simple as ABC, it need. It's only common sense. I don't believe in show off. I don't believe people showing off anything. What have you got that somebody has not got? Have you noticed lately that people don't do housewarming anymore? Because when you are doing housewarming, they will ask you a question, which house are you warming? When those who built their own in Banana Island, they didn't do any housewarming. And you are building house at of Atedo or wherever you are building it, and you are doing housewarming. What housewarming are you doing? So people are not, people are not doing that kind of things anymore. And if you want to show off, you got to show it off among those who are in your caucus, your caliber, your people of your same stature. You cannot show off in the presence of those who are not happy for you. Well, philosophically, people are saying village somethings, village this. It's just bullshit. A common sense must prevail at all time. There is no need in that situation for anyone to just say, after coming from village, sitting down in the village area, in the village, and start drinking beer with them. You have not drank with them for over 15 years. You have left. Even it can be more than 15 years. Perhaps you travel from Lagos, not from Anambra, from a village. So you will have left that place for a very long time. So there is no way you will blend. You won't be able to blend immediately. It can never be the same. But people don't understand. They get themselves into that situation, and at the end of the day, who's lost? If he has an aged mother or aged father, it's their losses. We've not been told whether there is a wife or a child for him. We've not been told. Because it could be one of those Igbo guys that want to settle down first, get everything ready right before getting married. Because I remember when I finished at law school, a colleague of mine was almost 40 years old then. Hasn't got married. He didn't get married then. He said until it's pronounced. Because we just finished from law school, but he's waiting until we are pronounced before he get married. And he was almost 40 then. And I have already got married. I've got kids already. But he was about 40 then. And he didn't get married. He said, no, they don't do it like that where he comes from. That everything needs to be ready before he will go to the village and go and get his wife. So it could be one of those ones again. The same one. Going to the village and see whether he can get a proper home-trained lady. Left it very late. But unfortunately, the destiny took his charge. Yeah. Even a friend who left 2 years ago, their character has changed. Honestly. You see, they look at you the moment you arrived into the country, they can tell from your skin, from your attitude, from your behavior that you are from overseas. There is no way it can be the same anymore. There's no way. I returned to Nigeria after a year I left for my engagement. And everybody was looking like, everybody, not my parents. Of course, it won't be my parents because my parents are well read. They are British and trained people, so they don't care. But the people around me in the area where my father's house was, then they were looking and say, skin has changed. See her skin, how her skin is so gloomy. See her dark skin, the way the dark skin is coming. And that was just within a year of living. Within a year, I left Nigeria to come back for my engagement. But they were all looking. Everybody was looking, appraising my skin. All people in the area were appraising my skin. So that is the difference. The moment you have traveled, you have stepped out and traveled overseas, things have changed. There is no way you can blend and be the same person anymore. It's going to take a while. It's going to be difficult. Traveling down today from where did I went? I was complaining about the road, talking about the road and said, listen, and it's true. The whole area was in a mess today. The area that I went today, the road is so bad that you cannot even comprehend it. You can't even appraise the government either. The road, the way you can see, you will ask yourself a question that, is there a government in this country? Is there a government in this state? Is there somebody in charge? Now, the problem here is that governor cannot see everything. There has to be a chairman. There's supposed to be commissioner, honorable, senator. Even senator supposed to. But not governor. Governor doesn't have time to see everything. It's the chairman, the councillor that's supposed to be reporting to the one ahead of them, their manager. But as soon as they're getting the money, they are just, distributing it and sharing it like a national cake. It's a national cake. So everyone go there to share and have it in their pocket. So they don't care about the situation of roads, security, education. Look at Itafaji case. Itafaji case, in a normal society, in a normal situation, that building shouldn't have been there anymore. It's a dejected building that should have been demolished and rebuilt long time ago. It is a dejected building. Any common person that sees that building should have known that that building should not stand again. So it shouldn't have stand. Now, when you look at occupiers' liability and look at employers' liability and look at negligence and look at everything, who are you to blame in this case? Who are you to blame in this case? The Itafaji's case. The government lost its decorum there. The government definitely lost it. The state government, it lost it. Now, what about the Minister for Education? Don't they have it in Nigeria as well? Has he not visited that school to see whether there is a problem? What about the inspector that goes around to schools all the time? Haven't they visited that school and see that building? What about the inspector, those who are building controllers? And what is the job? What is the duty of a head teacher that cannot make a report and send it back to the state government? Why did they have to left it in that last minute until it claimed lives? Why do they have to left it until the last minute until it claims those innocent lives? Would you believe that a mother has 3 children there? The woman said the 3 children have gone inside it. She lost all the children inside that incident. Totally absurd. It shouldn't have happened in the first instance because the building, before it collapsed, it would have been given warning. There would have been signs. There would have been signs about that building before it went derailed in that manner, before it claimed lives. Totally too bad. Totally, in fact, I cannot imagine what is happening sometimes when you look at the situation in Nigeria. So, Inspector of Education, what is there? Are they doing? Commissioner for Education, what is his job? What is his job? And can the head teacher make a report, or the headmaster make a report and send it to the government? And they just allow those innocent children to just go like that for no reason. I mean, it's totally devastating, honestly. It is a bad situation that shouldn't not. It can be prevented. The alternative way of looking at it is that, can he be prevented? Of course it can. It can easily be prevented. Would I use the word uncare attitude? It can easily be prevented. There was no report. In England, let's do comparison. In England, the headmaster will have picked it up, the inspector will have come and see, the teacher will have just smelled it, somebody else will have smelled it, the school gatekeeper will have saw it and report to the headmaster, report to the state school secretary, the inspector will come in, the local council will send somebody down and they will come and investigate it. I cannot just imagine hearing that kind of incident. And to make matter worse, similar situation occurred at Ibadan. Another building collapsed in Ibadan. But luckily for Ibadan, I think they escaped death. Luckily for them at Ibadan, I think they escaped death according to those reliable informations as well, reliable sources. I think they escaped death at Ibadan. But the Tafaji couldn't have. They couldn't. It's so unpreventable. They could not have escaped death in that kind of unforeseen circumstances, Honestly. Thank you, Tolu. It can't be prevented. People should stop saying, what about the people that went to go and enroll their children? Let's forget about that, please. We shouldn't be talking as if we don't have a heart in our hearts, breathing. We shouldn't talk like that. Things happen for one reason or another. But when we look at law of thought, and look at negligence, it could have been prevented. It's easy. Easy. The Commissioner for Education, what is his job? How many times has he sent inspectors out to schools and visit buildings? The buildings in Nigeria, they don't renovate, they don't rebuild. In England, they demolish and rebuild. The British government doesn't care how much it's going to cost them as long as it's going to save lives. They will definitely demolish it and put those kids into another school entirely and rebuild that school. In fact, they will rebuild it during school holidays. Usually, they rebuild when there's a long holiday, summertime. Because I remember when my kids were in primary school in those days. When they want to rebuild classroom, it has to be summertime. By the time we will go back to school, take them back to school, we will have seen a different environment entirely. So, where is the kitty for education in Lagos? Where is the money going to? Because I'm sure government pass money down to the kitty for education. If money goes into the kitty, who is taking that money? Why can't the money be looking after the needs? The needies. But they're not doing that. Honestly, Mr. Bayo Michael, honestly. Exactly, Ms. Itonaugwayiraye. I think our government needs to check and inspect some schools this day. Not only school, but houses, shopping complex for saving innocent lives. Honestly, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Good evening to you, Adiola. I totally agree with you. Honestly. Ms. Ikpeme said, do they even have assessors at all to assess if the building is safe for habitation? Honestly, this is the thing that I want to hear from you. We are well educated on this platform. That's what I want to read from us. There's supposed to be people to go there to assess the safety, the habitation of the building, to see whether it's habitual. It's something to check whether it's habitable rather. You know, they're supposed to send the inspector down there to go and test it and see whether it's habitable. But that's what we just hear from Ms. Ikpeme. I don't think there's anyone that sent down. They didn't send anyone. You know, they didn't send anyone. It could have been prevented, Yola. Of course it could have. It's so easy to prevent it, because if they send the inspector down, what they're supposed to do is to close the school down, to shut the school down immediately. They shut the school down and they move the pupils to the nearest school again. They move them to nearby school. So it's so easy. It's so easy to prevent. It's so easy. Everyone knows how they can prevent it. I mean, it's totally annoying. When you look at a situation like that, those children shouldn't have been there. They shouldn't have died. And why can't the bloody building collapse on Saturday? Why can't it collapse on Sunday? Why must it be the time that these innocent children are there to study? It is sad. It is sad, Miss Bola Tito, of course. Yes, the building should be marked for demolition. Aha. Folake Ariketaiwo said the building is marked for demolition, but sister, Nigeria with bribe won't do the right thing. Good evening to you, Miss Eniola Waliola. That would be very bad if that's the situation. What about those lives that have gone with it? That would be bad, honestly. That would be so bad. Honestly, if that's the situation, God will not forgive them. Judith Mukoyora, he said, as you are in Africa, visit South Africa, ma. We also love you. I love you guys. But you know, South Africa journey, I have to make it from England directly. Yeah, South African journey, I have to do it from England. You can't do it from Nigeria and again, it will be another distance. South African journey, I have to do it from England. It will be much easier for me to do it from England. Don't worry, I'll let you know. I've got quite a lot of people there in South Africa, but I'll let you know. It depends on your weather, because you too have a cold weather in South Africa. Johannesburg is very cold sometimes. So we have to decide when I will be coming. It has to be your summertime. Let me see you properly. Yeah, it has to be your summertime in South Africa, because South Africa is very cold. You know, and everybody is just sending their condolences. That is medicine after death. Do you understand? What happened is medicine after death. Now, what is the way forward? They have not spoken. That's the bad thing about the situation of things in Nigeria. Yes, they have not spoken about the way forward. They haven't even decided. Nobody has come out. Even the person that I expected to speak, Commissioner for Education for Lagos State, hasn't spoken. Another thing Mr. Bayo Michael said here, that is the thing. Thank you for reminding us this thing. Mr. Bayo Michael said, do we really have health and safety executive? And they're supposed to have one. equivalent to recommend preventive measures to curb future occurrences. Thank you. Exactly. 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 Thank you, Mr. Michael. Exactly. Yes. Health and safety executive. They're supposed to be one. They're supposed to have one for school. As we speak now, who is the Commissioner for Education in Lagos State? He has not spoken. He or she has not come out and talk about the way forward about all those buildings. All I know is that the government ordered them that they should shut those old buildings down. And there are so many houses of that similar nature at Itafaji, because I saw the picture today. I saw the picture, I think it was on the telly. I saw it on the telly. Itafaji, all of them are making noise and say Itafaji. Itafaji Mushin is better than Itafaji. Itafaji is a degenerated, it's a complete rundown area. Itafaji is no longer be the same anymore. And those are Itafaji is place where you have all those houses. 3 stories, 4 stories, 5 stories, ilé ìyàwó sójà, ilé ọkọ sójà, ilé sójà, like military barrack house, about 4-5 stories there, and you see them stretching their clothes outside on the rail at Itafaji. I saw it on the news today, and I looked at it and said, my God, we still have some people living in this kind of situations, this kind of life, in this modern day and age. So where are the landlords? Another problem. The landlord doesn't care as long as they collect their money. But that's not how to do it. You must renovate to make it habitable in England. When you are renting a property, apartment out, you must renovate it to show that it's human being that is going to live inside it. If not, the government find out you're dead. There is no maintenance culture. Thank you, Daniels Brenda. You see? Mrs. Clement says it's gross negligence. They should bring those culprits to justice for crying out loud. What a great loss. Yes. They have not said anything to the Nigerians. Why? Or did the government deliberately want innocent soul for something else? Wow. Okay. Okay. Now they have started demolishing some of the old buildings without adequate preparation for resettlement. That is it. Very good. That is proper housing law you just mentioned there, Christiana Deola. Yes. Proper housing law. Yeah. There's nothing to talk about resettlement for those who are in that area. Absolutely, you are right. Yes. Yeah. Yes. They don't know their jobs. All they know is to have big titles, pay office without doing anything. Those landlord doesn't care. They are all after money, Jare. Bolatito, yes. Ms. Folake Taiwo said most of the buildings is being run by the developers because inferior materials are used. They don't even value people's life. Chai. Landlords don't care. It's terrible. I have to be honest with you. Abike Oba said they didn't even tell those living in the area before demolition. Are you serious? No, please come off that joke. Where are they going to put them if that happens? If that's the situation, that's going to be terrible, isn't it? Don't you think so, Abike Oba? I think it's going to be terrible. I think it's going to be terrible, Abike. If that's the situation, Abike Oba, I think that's going to be really, 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 really bad. Where are they going to put them? They're going to make them homeless overnight. Because that's the only thing I can talk about here. If they're not well informed, that has to be informed choice. And if there's no informed choice before they start the demolition, it means that the people are just going to be homeless for nothing. Yeah, they're going to make them homeless. No arrangement, no resettlement, alternative arrangement. It's totally out of it. Honestly. I'm really happy with all the comments I saw this evening. They're fantastic. It shows that people on this platform are highly educated. Because the majority of what you guys are saying is about housing law. Everything you are saying is about health and safety and housing law. That's what I can see here throughout. Health and safety issue and then the housing law. Yeah. An old man came up and said he's eating and no notice. Oh, yeah? Look at this chick girl. She said this cheeky girl said that I miss Itafaji for my favorite white thick woman. This guy don't leave Lagos last sha. Demolishing indeed. This is medicine after death. It had to take lives before they decide to demolish. Exactly, Mrs. Ikpeme. They do give notice, but since they keep giving bribe and they collect, so they come when they don't expect, especially if the permanent secretary is fully involved now. Yes. So Mr. Tanago said that some landlords are ready to go extra miles if government mark their houses landlord. Fake builders needs to be checking this too when it comes to building houses. What you say to check fake builders? How would you know? How would you know such? If it's in England, England itself is struggling to know the fake one and the original one until there's a problem, and then you go online and start checking on the regulated one. Then you realize that, oh my God, you've given your house to builder that's not registered or not regulated. But in Nigeria doesn't have that kind of system in place to know who is registered or who is not registered. So to determine fake builders in Nigeria is going to be difficult because everybody is just initial one in terms of building material, building houses. So you will not know which one is perfectly done. I told you about one of my houses in Lagos that I asked a young guy to go and do the pipe there. The guy ended up putting me into almost he didn't put me into deficit, but at least I gave him 500,000 naira then. 500,000 naira then to do the pipe, the water pipe for me in the house. The guy did the pipe and the pipe burst because he bought fake pipes, which means that he wanted to save almost 300,000 naira. So he only spent 200,000 out of 500,000 he collected from me. So at the end of the day, the water pipe burst in the house and some of the tenants were affected. So I was furious. I had to. But unknowingly for him, I was in the country. I traveled into Lagos. He didn't know that I'm in Nigeria. So I traveled and I saw the situation of things. And I realized the way he was talking that there was no, what did you call it again? Remind me this English. Remorse. He wasn't remorseful at all. There was no remorseful for him from his side. There was no apology. He was just saying that, oh, mommy, I bought the right here. I did this. So I just ordered one of my uniform person, which is an inspector of, I think it's one of the police in the area, one of the senior rank police. So I just gave him an order, and then he gave his boys some order as well to go and get the boy for me. So they lock him up for me for overnight. They lock him up overnight and ask him to go and get bail. But then as Abiyamo that Toloju Anu, I make sure that he slept overnight so that he can be taught lesson. And then I asked them to release him because the money, there's no way he can afford to get me the money again to replace the money for me anyway. So, but he is not registered and it's not regulated, but it's showing off as if he knows what he was doing. But at the end of the day, when the damages happened, then we realized that he didn't know nothing. He didn't have knowledge, he didn't have an understanding of what he was doing. He was just a quack person that they introduced to me. And then the person that introduced it to me, I respect her so much, so I couldn't complain that she gave me wrong person, So, but she was really furious as well. She was really upset and apologized to me. But that's the problem in Lagos, in Nigeria generally. You will not know who is registered, who is qualified, who is not qualified, But the best way forward is to prevent. It would have been nice for the government to prevent that losses by sending someone down, inspector down to check the buildings, I mean, buildings that have been built for over 50 years, 40 years, what do they expect? What do they expect? Those buildings are not just built yesterday. They've been there for years. And blocks do crack as well. They do crack, they do wear out, they get weakened. And then they can collapse at any time, Don't forget, rain will have dropped day on it for many years, many years. On non-occasion, a lot of things will have happened to the building. So I think the government should be liable as well. I think you see, the situation here is vicarious liability. If you look at it very well from point of law, it's vicarious liability. And when we say vicarious liability, it basically means that they have to share the negligence among them. The government will have to participate. The school that doesn't do the report, the inspector, the commissioner, So it's vicarious. At the end of the day, it's not just one person's liability. The negligence is not from school alone. It's not from inspector. It's not from the commissioner. It has to be shared among them because it basically shows that they're not working together. It shows that the money from the federal government is not going down. And if it goes down to the state government possibly giving it to the commissioner is just sitting on it or swallowing it or shopping it, doing it and shopping free and not utilizing it for its purpose, So it is vicarious liability at the end of the day. And if those parents that lost their children knows they are right, they could still sue the school. They could still, if they know they are right, and if the law really works properly in Nigeria rather, then the school should be sued upon. They should sue the school. Yeah, because it's vicarious liability, so they should sue the school authority, and then the school authority will be suing the government for not taking proper care of the building. But in the first instance, the parents should sue the school. The parent should sue the school, and then the school will now sue the government because it is vicarious liability. So they have to share it among them. It is true that those children have gone already, they've died, but nevertheless, the parents should be entitled to compensation. They should be compensated. Because under law of tort, when there is a situation of this type, then you have to quantify the damages. And to quantify the damages, you have to set up, first of all, look at the liability. So you look at it from the top and start quantifying it bit by bit. So the parents should be entitled to claim damages. But then who is going to fight for them? So everything is just God. People lie on God every time. We leave it for God. Why would school be in that kind of environment? Really? Where is that thing located, Abike Oba? Where is that school located? I know it's at Itafaiji, but was it in the dungeon? Was it in the dungeon or so? Mashu. I know for Lasha, which government would the school sue? I know. That is how it works over here in England. That's how it works with us in England. Hopefully, the school has public liability insurance policy. I doubt it. Mr. Akim Adewale, you and I know that they don't have. Do you understand? You and I know that. I just said it now. One should sue the other one should sue this one. But then somebody just asked me now, which government will the school sue? There's nothing in place. Nothing is working in Nigeria. The only thing that works in Nigeria is pé kàn ṣe gara. Kàn gba owó, kàn scam àwọn èèyàn, kàn gbàyàn lójú, kàn bàtà àwọn èèyàn jẹ́, kàn gbowó sápò. That's one thing that works in Nigeria perfectly. 419 gbájú ẹ̀. But don't work in Nigeria nìyẹn. Anything other than that, nothing works in Nigeria perfectly other than 419 gbájú ẹ̀ ló ṣe Nigeria. The only thing that works perfectly in Nigeria is kàn sógúndogójì, kàn gbàyàn lójú, kàn jí nǹkan èèyàn. Other than that, there's nothing else. Forget. Nothing else. The school was not even registered. A school should not be in that environment at all. I'm glad I left Nigeria. God bless United Kingdom. Abike Oba, you said it too. I didn't say it too. You were the one that said it to Abike Oba because you see now the lawyer to so it's not a lawyer that said it. It was Abike Oba that said, "I'm glad I left Nigeria. God bless United Kingdom." Nigeria is a banana republic. If there is no damage or loss, the government doesn't take action. Why crying over split milk? The damage is done. Once bitten, twice shy. Penny wise, pounds foolish. Don't come and practice your English on my head. Yeah, idea laugh, behave yourself. I'm going to report you to my Nigerian government for you saying that. Once bitten, twice shy. Penny wise, pounds foolish. I like that. Abike Oba said, "I'm glad I left Nigeria. God bless United Kingdom." You said it to her. The problem with Saleko is emotional blackmail stroke sentiment. Folashade Ashaolu. You know your Lagos, sha, pam pam. She said the problem with Saleko. Tony Saleko gidi lo wa. Papa is Saleko gidi ni Islander. Islander ni. You know when I was coming, the Omotas, when they were taking my suitcases, the Omotas said, Mama like she me dada. He thought he thought I wasn't going to speak Yoruba. So Mama like we don't share that. I'm a jolly queer anima. Mula jolly ko ni ko sun saying, this Mama Islander Mama Islander. Naija, they just love those kind of things. Say, Islander ni Mama, obi Mama Shemura, Mama Eko funre, Islander. Imilon Sanya, is trying to, eulogize me. Mama Islander ni Mama. Okay, carry on. You'll be straightened up now. By the time my boys come, they will straighten you up. So that's the situation. Nigeria is a very, very lovely country, and and let me tell you about Nigeria more if you don't understand. God really loves Nigeria. Had God not loved Nigeria, Nigeria would have been a dry country, a dry land. But God really loves Nigeria. It's like a father loves to his son's love, to son love. Abraham, Jacob, and Joseph. That's the way I say Nigeria and God. God surely show love to Nigeria. The problem Nigerian is having is that they have used to it. A client was telling me that, they are very free. They don't do this thing. And a client was correcting me. Lórí nǹkan tí ò dá tó ń ṣe, things that he's doing that is not right. He was actually correcting me and saying, lawyer, forget about that. This is how we do it in Nigeria. We are free. We get used to it. I said, but that is why you get refusal all the time, because you fail to do things properly. You don't like to document things. In Nigeria, if your paperwork to them to travel abroad, they will use it and give it to someone else to copy it again, copy and paste. I remember vividly some years back, the entry clearance officer called me around in the 90s, about 1997, 98. Asking me if I have given my document for someone to travel to United Kingdom, invitation letter, not my passport, but an invitation letter in my name. Now I was thinking that how could that have happened? Not knowing that when I gave my younger sister an invitation letter, she left it on her school system. She was in the university then. She was in uni at Ile-Ife. She was at Obafemi Awolowo. So she left it on her system. Her friend went into that system and printed it out and used it. But unfortunately for my sister's friend, the ECO called me and said, did you give anyone an invitation letter recently, Mr. Olagbaye? I said, unless you tell me the name. They said they're not going to tell me the name. I should just tell them. And I said, no, I don't think so. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think I gave anybody invitation letter recently. And what they did was that they have gone into my sister's computer system when she was at uni, Ile-Ife. They went into her system. They changed dates and changed everything, but they leave my name and my address at that time in the United Kingdom. They left everything there. Unknowingly for them that have bought another property, I've changed houses. So I moved home. So they used the old address, so they got it wrong. So when they send it to the ECO for an invitation letter, they send it to the ECO with the application form, pretending as if I invited them. The ECO called me. And I said straight away to the ECO that no, I didn't give a invitation letter lately. Plus the address you quoted, I have changed that address almost a year ago. And that's what Nigeria can do for you. So you have to be very careful. They make everything so easy for themselves. But at the end of the day, they get 10 years ban because they never wanted to do anything straightforward. They want to lie. And that's why people overseas are very scared to give documents to them to invite them to UK. Because when you give your document out, you are going to blame yourself if care is not taken. Now, if anyone wants me to invite them down to United Kingdom, and they are not, and I know that the person is capable financially, all right, the person can never stay in England. The person is just coming as she said or as he said, and it's going to go back. What I will do to that person is that I will do all the paperwork myself, and I will take the person to the entry clearance and go and submit the document with the person myself, so that I can get my original immediately back from them. As soon as they get the original in, they will stamp it, copy it and give me back the original. And I will still give an order that they must not return the copy of the document with the application, with the result when the result is coming out. Because if you don't do that, they will duplicate you. Before you wake up next day, you will become twins on the street. You will have known that you have a twin sister elsewhere again. The way Nigerian duplicate things is very fast. That's very bad. They duplicate things quickly. You don't want to do things accordingly. You don't want to do things appropriately. They duplicate things. And that's what happened to those children that died at Itafaji. Because that building will definitely has been given warning. Definitely that building has been giving them warnings. And not even warnings. But I think I'm pretty sure that it was ignored. It was ignored. It was ignored. So that's the situation of things, ladies and gentlemen. It's nice to chat with you guys this evening. I am so happy to see you online, even though it's an impromptu one. But when I see you guys online like this, I'm always happy because even if it's 5 of us online, it feels as if you're talking to your family. It feels as if you're talking to your family, even though some people will still be nosy and come back and come and pull it out and come and listen to us later on. It doesn't matter. But the point here at the moment is that it feels that as we are here, we are like just a family that are chatting and talking to each other. So I feel so comfortable. And that's why I don't go around and comment anyhow, so that I don't become a nuisance, because I have my own group, my own family here on this platform. And I know names. That's why I tell people, I say I know names. And if I don't see them all the time, I see them occasionally. I know that possibly they are busy and they are back again. So I know names, definitely. And I appreciate you. Thank you, Adeido. Thank you, Daniel Brown. Brenda. Thank you, Miss Shola Uweye. The building must have been showing some sign but was ignored. Exactly. I didn't change my number, Miss Uweye. I didn't change my number. My number is still intact. Thanks to all of you. Miss Caroline Onaneye, good evening, ma'am. Good evening to you. Thanks to everyone on board. I will have time to do a proper recording for you. Possibly I'll do a proper recording on Monday. But tomorrow I need to have some rest. Tomorrow is Sunday. But I'll do proper work on Monday. So I'll do proper recording on Monday. Show my face to you. See me and I'll see you. So that's the situation. Adiola, call me and chat me now. Call me on my WhatsApp, Adiola. So, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you, and I cannot say I didn't see you. I see all of you. Miss Wale Eniola, may God continue to appreciate you in every ramification, in all everything, in all ways. God will appreciate you the way you show your love every time you come on board. I appreciate all of you, but please, when you are on this platform, always click your love button so that it overrides any matter that may come, from nowhere. Any matter that might come unexpectedly. It would be nice to just show the love button when you're on board. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I've got to go now. Diola, call me. Call me to chat me. Yes. Thank you. Mercy to her, Broderick. Thank you. Abike Obase, make sure you eat amala with goat meat while in Nigeria. Kilometer of man like amala goat meat. You get tired now. Don't you understand? You will get fed up with it now. But I've eaten today. I eat very little. I'm not a big eater. I eat very, very little. I eat very, very little. I eat very, very little. And don't forget it's Lent period. So don't use Google to jam malatan. It's Lent period. Always make sure that you fast and pray all the time. Christian matches soon. Always make sure you fast and pray. We are in a Lent period. The only thing that will prevent you from having your 40 days if you are menstruating. as a woman. But if not, you just carry on and continue to get close relationship with your God. There is no intermediary between us and God. It's the way it depends on what is making us getting our distance from God. Iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ wa ló máa ń jẹ́ ká sún sẹ́yìn fún Ọlọ́run. Ọlọ́run ò lọ síbi kankan. God doesn't go anywhere. It is us that move back because of our attitude, our behavior. That's why. Apart from that, God understands exactly. God understands. Ladies and gentlemen, let me go off. Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you. Bye. Good night.